Nippon Hoso Podcast Station.
Today's phrase is どんなのがお好みかな？ワイルド系、ロリショタ系、小悪魔系、クール系、それともこの俺にしてみる？行っちゃう？ Like ワイルド系。Oh, he's wild. You wouldn't even say he's wild. No, that's weird. He's so wild. Anime English Club with Sally Amaki. Hello everyone and welcome to episode 4 of the Anime English Club. I'm your host Sally Amaki, and the Anime English Club is a podcast where we use anime as a bridge to help connect our listeners to the English world. Yokoso. Welcome. Each episode we explore a different line or scene from an anime and discuss how you would say it in English. So anime is what brought me to Japan, so I hope it can be a tool for everyone to learn and enjoy English. I forgot the color of the wall as I wore this shirt. You could probably only see my face and my hands. Was it always this color? I thought it was different. I even brought sleeves today. Like if I put this on, I'm gonna disappear. これちょっとポッドキャストしか聞いてない方はわからないと思うんですけど I'm blending into the wall right now. 見て I'm gone. Am I gone? I'm gone. It's just my head. Hi. So you can focus on my face now. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. Yeah, so we're actually filming this before the first episode is even uploaded on YouTube. So if you guys left any constructive criticism in the comments and we haven't changed anything yet, it's because we haven't seen it yet. Yes, so if there is something to change, we will change it in the future. So without further ado, let's dive into this week's episode! 行きましょう! This episode's anime is Ouran High School Host Club! Ouran高校ホスト部です! Memories! Oh my gosh. So for those of you that do not know, Ouran High School Host Club was originally written and illustrated by Bisco Hattori and ran in the magazine Lala from 2002 to 2010. Its anime adaptation began airing in April of 2006 and ran for 26 episodes. The story revolves around the host club of Ouran Academy, an elite private high school for rich kids, and the protagonist, Haruhi Fujioka, is forced into the club she has no interest in due to the extraordinary circumstances and must perform her duties as a host, serving customers with her fellow club members while hiding her actual gender. So she's hiding her gender because the students first thought that she was a boy, like she was a high school boy student, because I guess her appearance wasn't very feminine at first. Yeah, she wasn't very feminine at first. So the club members also thought that she was a guy at first, but in the first episode, it kind of like everybody already knows that she's a girl now, but because she already has a lot of customers and she has to pay her debt from breaking this super expensive pot, they're like, you know what, we're just gonna make people believe you're a guy and you're gonna be a host from now on.
Also, it's because the male uniform was cheaper than the woman's.
Right. She's poor in this anime. Yes. She's going to this rich school, elite high school, but yeah, she is from a very poor family and she couldn't afford it at first. Yes. So that's where the story begins. And I chose this anime because it brings back memories. I don't want to say it brings back memories because the group I'm in, Nanabun no Nijini, we hide our age. We're not supposed to tell people our age, so you guys don't actually know how old I am. But like now you know because I love Ouran High School. And I was, I think it's one of the very few animes where I watched the sub and dub. And I love it both equally. So without further ado, today's phrase is どんなのがお好みかな？ワイルド系、ロリショタ系、小悪魔系、クール系、それともこの俺にしてみる？行っちゃう？ Hi, the English translation is, so tell me what kind of guys you're into. Do you like the strong silent type, the boy Lolita type? How about the mischievous type or the cool type? Or maybe you're into a guy like me. What do you say? Hi. This line comes from the very beginning of the anime when the protagonist, Haruhi Fujioka, accidentally stumbles into the Ouran High School Host Club, a host club run by students of the school. Thinking Haruhi is a customer, the president of the host club, Tamaki Suo, introduces each member of the club by their so-called type. Hi. So I chose this phrase because a lot of the type that was used in here in Japanese, it's kind of hard to translate into English. Like, a literal translation doesn't really exist. So should we just go to the vocabulary so that we could explain? All right. So the first type that he was like, どんなのがお好みかな? Wild系. So wild系, he described it for Mori senpai, so Morinozuka Takashi. But I feel like in English, when you listen or hear the word wild type, you'll think of like Tarzan. Like in this case, Morinozuka Takashi, he's like kind of silent, but he's strong, you know, because he can pick up Honey Senpai, and like he's kind of like a bodyguard-ish character for Honey Senpai. But I don't know if I would describe him as wild though. Like he's strong, but he's like I said, I feel like wild would be more Tarzan. And does it have the same meaning in Japan and English, in America? Wild, like wild-系. Oh, he's wild. You wouldn't even say he's wild. No, that's weird. He's so wild. I feel like like it starts being weird, you know? When you say he's wild. Like you wouldn't say that.
Yeah, like strong and silent. Do you think?
Strong and silent?
Yeah. That's the
What about
English
it?
word.
For Morinozuka Takashi?
Yeah.
To describe him, strong and silent.
How would you say that in Japanese?
Strong and silent. 強くて静か。強くて静か。寡黙。寡黙. Yeah. So strong and silent in Japanese would be 寡黙. So Morinozuka Takashi, Mori senpai, is very 寡黙. はい。次。ロリショタ系。Rorisotake is something Tamaki senpai used for Honey senpai, one of my favorite characters. So Lolita boy is the literal translation, but it doesn't exist in English. But I feel like it's like the word itself has gotten so much more popular because of anime. Rorisotake. You wouldn't look at a like a real person and be like, oh my gosh, like you're such a Rori. Like, don't do that. Hi, is all I gotta say. Even if you look really young, you shouldn't call people Rori. Is how I feel. But I feel like even in Japanese, that's not even good. Like Rori mitai. Like I don't think that's good to use to a person, right? So just don't. But this is what it means. Lolita and Shota, it literally means Lolita boy. So somebody that looks like a young child. Yes, so don't use it to people unless they are a young child. はい。次。小悪魔系。Tamaki senpai used this for Hitachin, Hikaru, and Kaoru, so the twin brothers. The literal translation would be the little devil type. And it kind of means, manipulative, bratty. I mean, it's used in a very, in English, the literal translation would be kind of negative. But in this case, it's used in a good way. Like, 小悪魔系. How would you describe 小悪魔系? Little devil. Like, flirty. But that's not the literal translation. Like, it's so weird. It's... You have to live here to understand. 小悪魔系, something similar to it in Japanese would be like あざとい. But also, that word doesn't exist in English as well. Right? あざと系女子. あざとい. あざとい. And ぶりっ子. ぶりっ子 is like, ぶり and 子 is like somebody who acts cute, you know? So, like, they need to act it because they're not that, you know?
Yeah, it actually has like a little bit of that negative connotation.
Yeah, it has a negative, yeah. But あざとい and 小悪魔系 can be used in a very positive way as well. Like, in this case as well. It just doesn't exist. It doesn't exist, guys. So, I guess just say it in an English accent. And make it English.
Or just
He's so
adapt to the situation.
Yes. Let's connect the worlds together. Yes, as a toy. He's so as a toy. She's so as a toy. Right? Yeah. Let's become family, guys. Right. Next. No, finally. クール系. So this is used for 大鳥京也. I think he's the president of this club. If I remember, I think he was
vice president.
He was the vice president. Tamaki's the president. He's the vice president. But yeah, in this term, I guess cool, kuruke is like literal translation. Cool, the same. It's in English. I feel like there's not really much of a difference here. You know, like mysterious, smart.
But like, cool isn't always mysterious in.
Oh, that's true.
English.
That is true. You can have sunglasses on, be like, "Hey, ladies, that would be cool as well."
Like.
Damn.
Top Gun, like Tom Cruise's characters are usually not mysterious, but they're very cool.
Oh, that's true. That's damn. Why do they have to change it? Makes things so difficult. That's true. That is true. You could be like pew pew pew. Have sunglasses on. That would be very cool as well. But in Japanese, when you say like, "Oh, he's so cool," it usually means like laid back, mysterious, smart. Usually characters with dark hair, right? Black hair, glasses. But yeah, I guess a lot of the characters in like Hollywood films, if people are like, "Oh, he's such a cool guy," he's usually more like outspoken, buff. That's very true. Sunglasses, knows how to fight. Yeah. So I guess there is a big cultural difference. I tried being a cool person. In the Japanese sense, I wanted to be the kuru type, but I know I tried, guys. I don't think you would understand, but I tried because I wanted to be the kuruke. Like, I wanted to be mysterious to the point. I'm in an idol group right now. I didn't tell my members anything about myself. I know. I tried so hard. They were like, "Hey, Sally, where do you live?" And I'm like, "I don't know." Like, I wouldn't tell them what part of Japan I lived in or like where my house was, so nobody ever came to my house to have like a sleepover or anything. I didn't tell them about like my family tree or anything. Didn't tell them about my siblings or where I went to school because I wanted to be mysterious.
中二病?
Yes. 8th grade syndrome. 中二病. No, because the thing is, I wanted to be the type of person that like nobody knew about, you know? Like, I'm always in the room, but like nobody knows. I wanted to. But that only lasted for like 3 days. Yeah, this side of me came out. I couldn't. So yeah. What would I be? Yeah.
Why were you trying to be cool?
Because all my favorite characters, like for instance, Geto from Jujutsu Kaisen, he's a cool kuruke, wouldn't you think? Don't you think? Yeah, like he's smart, he's like laid back, and he's mysterious. I wanted to be that. I wanted to be mysterious. Yeah, and I couldn't. はい、ということで let's go to the pronunciation. Next up is pronunciation. はい、the phrase of the week is どんなのがお好みかな？ワイルド系？ロリショタ系？小悪魔系？クール系？それともこの俺にしてみる？行っちゃう？ In English would be, so tell me what kind of guys you're into. Do you like the strong silent type? The boy Lolita type? How about the mischievous type or the cool type? Or maybe you're into a guy like me. What do you say? One more time. All right. Are you guys ready? I'm going to say it slowly. So tell me what kind of guys you're into. Do you like the strong silent type? The boy Lolita type? How about the mischievous type or the cool type? Or maybe you're into a guy like me. What do you say? Hi. Were you guys able to repeat it with me? The pronunciation, what would be the hard word to say? Mischievous? Mischievous. 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 Then well, chivous would be like ch. Chi. Oh, that's very different culturally too. We don't really click our tongues overseas like chi. Like we don't go like. Yeah. So in Japan, when you're frustrated, you kind of like click your tongue, like make this like chi sound. In America, what do? You roll your eyes, like, ugh. You know, to make you either sigh or you roll your eyes. But in Japan, if you're frustrated, you're like. So that would be how you say mischievous, like mischievous. Sort of mischief, like che, mischievous. Miss, che. miss を犯して like you make a mistake and you're like che. So, but you gotta do it really fast. Like mischievous. That's how you would say it. It's literally how you would say it. Mischievous. Hi. Repeat after me. Mischievous. There you go. That's how you pronounce that word. Next is, what do you say? So, that is 1, 2, 3, 4. What do you say is 4 words, but when you pronounce it, it's usually like 2 words, like what do you say?
Yeah.
What do you?
What do you?
What do you say? What do you? What do you? What do you? What do you? What do you say? What do you? 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 That's so hard. What do you? What do you? What do you? What do you? So I guess pretend like you're either a baby or a really, really old person. Either or. What do you? What? And わしはみたいなわしはって言いたいけどちょっと口が回らなくてわしゃわりゃright? わりゃわりゃわりゃせいわしゃyour name is Sei. So you're an old man, like 130 years old. And your name is Sei. And you want to say, わしはSei. But like, you're too old to say that now. Like, your words don't come out correctly. So you're going to go like, わりゃせい. わりゃせい. Hi. Right? It works. Yeah. Pretend like you're 130 years old. Hi. わりゃせい. There we go. Perfect English. Whew. Now let's go to the cultural context. So yeah, we talked about the 4 types. ワイルド系、ロリショタ系、小悪魔系、クール系. But there's so much more. There are so many more types in Japan. There's like 地雷系、港区女子、量産型、サブカル系、古着女子. And then, 肉食系、草食系、ベーコンアスパラガス系、ロールキャベツ男子. I love these 2 words. I love it. ベーコンアスパラガスとロールキャベツ系男子. Oh my gosh. It's such a weird thing to say. Like, he's such a ロールキャベツ男子. So the meaning is somebody who seems like a cabbage on the outside, which means like a herbivore. Yeah, like you seem like you only eat vegetables. Like, you know, like you don't seem like the assertive type. But actually, like if you look deep inside of you, you're actually a carnivore. Like you're very, you know, like not, I wouldn't say assertive. More like どうしよう、ちょっと待って。ロールキャベツ系. So on the outside, you look like a herbivore, but like personality-wise, you're actually a carnivore. Right? Would be like the literal
Yeah.
meaning. So rolled cabbage is actually a dish served in Japan. It's not a Japanese dish though. Huh. I don't know where it's from, but it's a dish in Japan where it's like this pile of meat. It's wrapped in cabbage and it's usually in some sort of soup, and that's like a dish. But yeah, rolled cabbage danshi would be like somebody who you didn't think would be the type to like come flirt with you. Bacon aspara is the opposite of that, right? Like, so this asparagus is wrapped around in bacon. So he seems assertive, but actually he's an asparagus in the inside. It's so weird that they use food for this. I want to start using food in English. Like, what? What type of people do I think is more popular in the U.S. versus Japan? In Japan, pick-me girls are very popular. Buriko is very popular in Japan, I think, right? But pick-me girls are used in a negative way in English. So, なんだろう? I mean, like, for me, the way I act in English and in Japanese is so different because I lived in both cultures. Like, I wouldn't go back to my hometown and, like, you know, meet with my friends and be like, hi guys. Like, they'd be like, what the hell are you doing? But in Japan, you know, there's like so many TV shows that tell you what kind of girls are really popular and, like, you know, how to be more flirty. And usually they'll be like, you know, wave your hands close to your face, like when you say bye, because it makes you look cuter and stuff. Like, I feel like I don't know why that makes you look cuter, but that was something that I saw on TV once. But I wouldn't really do that in America. I wouldn't be like, my guys. I'd be like, what are you doing? You know?
It makes your face look smaller?
Is that it? Like, there's so much, like, the beauty standards are so different, too. Because I heard one of the most popular cosmetic surgeries to do in Japan or in Asian countries, other than the double eyelid surgery, is, like, cutting your jaw to make your face look smaller. But in America, a lot of the times the popular cosmetic surgery is to actually put something in your jaw for that, like, nice jawline, you know? So that's a huge cultural difference too. And in Japan, when you take pictures with your girls, usually people want to stand in the back so that your face appears smaller. But I feel like in America, when you take group photos, you know, people usually like standing in the front being like, hi, like, that's me. Like, I want to be in the picture, you know? So I feel like that's a big cultural difference as well. What else is there? What other beauty standards? Well, when I went to school in Japan, I went to school in my PJs without any makeup on, and people thought that was very weird. My classmates were like, what are you wearing? Or just to go to the convenience store, they told me to, like, get out of my PJs. But, you know, maybe it's because my school in America was, like, close to the ocean. But we would wear our swimsuits or, like, our PJs to school. So I didn't really think it was weird to, you know, just roll out of bed. But...
So yeah. Japan has, like, a huge safe culture, right?
Safe culture.
Like, that's also like a big point in the anime, right? Where, like, she can't afford the woman's seifuku, so she dresses up as a guy because it'll be cheaper. Do you like the idea of a seifuku, or do you enjoy, like, the American wear whatever the hell you want kind of thing?
I love the idea of seifuku just because I don't have to think about anything to wear. But yeah, I heard the dating culture in Japan, usually people fall out of love because of the seifuku culture. So this is what I heard from my friends. So when you like somebody at school, they look really cool because they're wearing a seifuku, and then you go on a date with them during the weekend and you see their fashion sense, and it is just so terrible that you fall out of love. Like, it is so bad. That's one of the risks to, like, seifuku culture, is what I heard. You know, like, people in suits and stuff, you know, they always look cool just because they're in suits, you know, like, they look that much hotter because of that. So I feel like they say the word is, like, seifuku hosei, you know, like, they're saved by the seifuku. They look cool because of the seifuku, but, like, you meet them in the weekends and then their fashion sense is just, oh my gosh, so bad, you fall out of love. Yeah, so in that sense, I guess, I don't know. In America, you fall in love with their fashion sense, I guess. But yeah, that's hard. That is hard. You can't really brush up on how you dress in Japan, I guess, when you're a student. Also, a lot of the high schools don't allow makeup in Japan, which is weird. because apparently like it takes away like your focus from studying. I don't know. But the second you get into work, like the second you go to work, they expect you to wear makeup every day to look proper. But it's like, how am I supposed to know how to wear makeup if you didn't allow me to wear makeup all throughout high school? Sensei, you know? So I feel like they should allow.
Prefer America or Japan on that?
What do I prefer? I prefer American high school. I don't say I prefer American high school. I just prefer no seifuku, actually. I like the fact that I don't have to pick and choose my outfits every day, but I feel like people have different body types, you know? And there's like a certain type of clothes that you look the best in, you know? But the seifuku is like all the same. So like, you know, I feel like it doesn't really bring out the real you. So, yeah. I feel like people should be able to wear what they want when they want from a very young age so that you're able to like really search who you are from a young stage in your life. Yes.
Why do you think Ouran High School was so popular in the West?
Why do I think Ouran High School is so popular in the West? Because my boy Tomaki carried the show. No, just kidding. Everybody carried the show. I literally think it is because everybody carried the show. I really don't think it has to do with like the cultural aspect or anything. Like it was just so funny in general. All the jokes are very translatable, and all the characters had very like distinct characteristics, and there wasn't like a single character that was hidden away in the shadows, you know? So I feel like that was one of the reasons why it became so popular. And I think it's also because back when Ouran High School was airing on TV in America, there weren't many. First of all, Crunchyroll didn't exist, I think. Yeah, there weren't many websites that you can watch anime without pirating anime, you know? Yeah, you pirators, I know who you are. But yeah, it was popular because it was also aired on TV, and only the chosen animes were aired on TV. So I think that was also one of the very big reasons. Hi. But now that Netflix and like Crunchyroll, like you can basically watch anime everywhere. It's actually harder to make a single anime popular because there's so many like new anime coming in and out every season. So yeah, I heard it's gotten so much harder. ということで, that does it for this episode of the English Anime Club. Make sure to follow us on X and other social media. Next time, we are diving deeper into Ouran High School Host Club with a quote from the main character, Haruhi Fujioka. See you there! そして、the Anime English Club wants to hear from you. Whether it's a scene or anime you want me to talk about, general English questions, or you just want to say hi, we want to hear from you. So email us at aec@1242.com. That's aec@1242.com. You can email me in either Japanese or English. こちらメールはですね、日本語のメールも全然お待ちしているので、好き勝手送ってください。はい。そして、The Anime English Club is now on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/anime-english-club to watch us on YouTube with subtitles. Perfect for everyone trying to learn. じゃあ YouTube には字幕版もありますので、ちょっと英語わかんないなーっていう方は YouTube で見てくださると嬉しいです。From the Nippon Broadcasting System, this is the Anime English Club, hosted by me, Sally Amaki. This episode was written by Carlos Yabuki and Gavin Chittister, directed by Kensuke Yoshida, and was produced by Shiori Tanaka of Nippon Broadcasting System, Japan.